The refresh 2023 Kia Soul. They went down trim levels, so there are 4 trim levels now. I believe it's LX, S, EX, and this GT line. This GT line doesn't have a turbo. They got rid of the turbo trim. They also got rid of the X line trim. I think that's what the other one is. So they are now just 4 trim levels. All of them have this 2-liter 4-cylinder, naturally aspirated, about 147 horsepower, 132 pound-feet of torque. I'll tell you what kind of fuel economy I'm getting once we get on the road, but it is mated to a CVT and it is only front-wheel drive, so not all-wheel drive available. So let's get into this refresh front end of the Kia Soul. Now this GT line has completely updated headlights. The grille is completely new. This GT line has this blue color. It's called Surf Blue, and it comes exclusively two-tone with the black. So you have the black roof, you got the black mirrors. We have 18-inch wheels on this GT line. Looks pretty cool. What do you think about that silver line at the bottom? I guess it kind of matches the wheels a little bit, but I think I'd actually rather have that blacked out here. Now, the Kia Soul's always been a box on wheels, and there's no difference here, even though we have a redesigned taillights and an updated rear end. And I do like this twin tip exhaust here that's centralized. I think it looks pretty good. All right, we got that little GT line badge on the back, and let's go ahead and open up the lift gate here. This can fit a ton. I like how it has like a deep dish storage system here, but there is no accessory ports. And I guess that is a part of being maybe the entry-level vehicle into Kia's lineup, with the Rio being discontinued soon. But these seats do fold down and it will give you a ton of cargo space in here. And notice, I don't have any problem folding those down. They're not running into the back of those seats up there. No, they don't fold flat. And yes, you could probably put a little floor here. You can see there's supposed to be a floor, or maybe an optional floor that you could put here, where it'd be more of a flat floating floor from the cargo to the second row. And since it's a boxy nature, we have a lot of vertical space and cargo space for your things as well as your passengers. Even though this is one of the higher trims here, we don't have an automated lift gate, but this thing is super light. Go ahead and close. Get on the back seat, all hard touch plastic except a little piece of the armrest here, but I do like this breakup of just all black. So many competitors will just a whole bunch of black plastic here. At least we get a little nice like white trim around this armrest area, and we also have this textured door trim here that we'll see on the front seat as well. That texture pattern runs into these two-tone seats, kind of gray and black. The white stitching is a nice touch as well. Let's go ahead and get on the inside. We have 2 USB-Cs, and we don't have rear vents, but that is not a big deal. I mean, that's pretty rare in a vehicle that costs less than $25,000. But here's the thing, the AC in this kicks butt. Great AC in this Kia Soul. I haven't had to push it hard really at all. Also have a little light above, a little map light for your passengers. We have handles around every single door opening. And with the boxy interior, tons of headroom back here at 6'1". Unlike the back door, the front door here is soft touch panel. Doesn't look that much different. We still have the same sort of general design on the front door here. The only automatic window here is the driver's side, and it's just down only. And if I press up, it will not do automatic up. The rest are manual hold all the way down. We do have power mirrors here, and this GT line does have the upgraded Harman Kardon sound system, which sounds actually pretty good. Little detail here, a little Soul action on the bolstering of the seat. Even though this is one of the upper trims, we don't have power seats here, just old school, which I don't mind because I love slidey bars in cars. It's really easy to change the seat the old school way. Now on the interior, we have a small screen right here that gives me information I need. We have a upgraded screen right here. This is a part of the tech package that gives us a Harman Kardon bigger screen, wireless charging, it gives me radar cruise control, etc., etc. So that might be something, if you guys find in your market, might be a good deal for you, but we'll go over the buying guide at the end if I can recommend this model right here. Honestly, I'm pretty impressed with the materials in here. This is all soft touch on the dash. We have a nice stitching around the instrument cluster too. Volume knob is right off of the armrest. I love that. Now my Android Auto doesn't take up the full screen, so that's a bit unfortunate. I love the huge climate control knobs, and I love the manual fan control. I really haven't touched auto once. 1 to 2 fan speeds has been pretty good in 80 to 90 degree weather here in hot Florida. Here's your wireless charger. I do have my Android Auto plugged in, USB-A. We also have a USB-C up front as well to accompany the 2 USB-Cs in the back. Traditional shifter here to put it in drive for the CVT. Don't mind that. We also have a couple driving modes. Well, literally a couple. Sport and normal's all you're gonna get here. Manual handbrake, big fan of that. Love traditional handbrakes that are close to you, easy to operate, and pretty basic storage space underneath the armrest, couple cup holders there. So pretty basic interior. I don't have a sunroof or anything, but that just adds to the amount of headroom I have in here. It does feel extremely spacious, despite it being such a tiny car from the outside. I'm putting the Kia Soul into reverse, fairly high resolution backup camera. It's nice that my Android Auto actually pulls to the right here so I can see what's playing on music despite the camera being up. So I guess that's one good thing about the Android Auto, even though it does not take up the full screen here. Now, I do have blind spot monitor on this model. You can actually get it on the base trim, which is exciting. I don't believe that was an option prior to the refresh. Now this model is a little gently used. It's later on in its lifespan as a press car, so it has over 11,000 miles on it. So I'll be able to tell you if there's anything funky going on with this gently used Kia Soul. Getting into the brakes here, this car feels super light. The brakes stop this car extremely well. Let's roll into this. There we go. Pinned. We're pinned right now. It's quicker than I thought it would be. It's not quick off the line, but if it's finally able to wring itself dry and you maximize the near 150 horsepower, it'll get the job done. But it comes at a cost, because for how small and light this vehicle is, you would think it would be fuel efficient. And I'm not seeing more than 24, 25 miles per gallon in and around town. And I'm typically really easy on cars. They typically, like, I drive a Prius most of the time when I'm not in a press car, so I like to just enjoy the game of MPGs. And this vehicle, there's just no rewarding. And typically, if you're buying an inexpensive car, fuel economy is going to be important to you. And I'm just not seeing that return on fuel economy here in the Kia Soul. With the advanced package though, I do have cruise control. I also have advanced steering, so highway steering assist, which is quite nice. It's pretty much some of the best out there on the market, so it's great to have that in a sub $25,000 vehicle as well. However, if you look at Toyota's lineup or Honda's lineup, a lot of those features too are standard and you don't have to pay more for them. But you do, like in most of its competitors, you do actually have to pay more for blind spot monitors, so Kia does the same here as well. Now, to be honest, I have low expectations for ride quality and removal of sound in here. I get a little bit from the A-pillar, but you know, it's not much more than what I had last week in a $55,000 Toyota Crown. I get a lot more road noise compared to that vehicle coming up from underneath, from the tires. But when you hit a few bumps, I feel like this chassis does a decent job of smoothing it out too. Typically this road is very quiet despite the vehicle I'm in. Just going about 50 miles an hour on it, I'm getting quite a bit of white noise, a lot of road and tire noise coming up through the bottom of the cabin. So if you're taking this on long road trips, it might get a bit grindy after a while. To be honest, the Harman Kardon sound system has also impressed me. It's not the world's loudest, but even at full tilt, it never sounds distorted. It fills the cabin nicely. You have a subwoofer in here, so the bass is better than you would expect as well. And the bass coming from the speakers down here on the door is better than I expected too. And I don't get any rattling, no plastic rattling of the door panels either, which is pretty mind-blowing for such a entry-level priced car. Now in a small car, sometimes you're punished. You're in a penalty box because it just feels cramped or you don't have good visibility. And driving the Kia Soul, I have tall windows. I have good visibility on the front. I don't have any like major blind spots because the back windows are big too. So from a safety perspective and a visibility perspective, it's quite good here. And even though I'm in a compact car, like I said, tons of headroom, good shoulder room. I feel really comfortable in these seats. Even though it's a GT line, I don't feel like these seats are heavily bolstered or anything. They're very casual and comfy. Now I don't expect a very quick 0 to 60 here, but it torque braked a little bit to about 2,000 RPM, and then it torque steered a little bit to the right. But this thing is way quicker than I thought it would be. That is not bad. 0 to 60 in 8.86. and 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 9.76, which I may have got off the gas a little early there, so the 100 kilometers might not be that accurate, but 100 or 0 to 60 in just 8.86. I was not expecting this to be quicker than the Subaru Crosstrek that I drove, and that vehicle was like 10 and a half. It was almost an 11. I think it's somewhere around 11 seconds, to be honest. I'll go ahead and play that footage for you if I can find it. Okay, there it goes. We're gonna get there. But this vehicle felt way faster than the more expensive Subaru Crosstrek. I know that has an all-wheel drive system to put the power to, which is going to sap, you know, some of that raw acceleration. But very impressed here with the Kia Soul and its quickness. And like I said, maybe a part of you give up a little bit of fuel economy because it is quicker than it should be at just 140 some horsepower. In terms of the handling, the steering is extremely light, and since this thing doesn't weigh anything, you don't have a lot of resistance to change its momentum, so it's quite fun to poke around and throw in the turns. And despite it having a CVT, it's pretty darn responsive, I think, and it doesn't sound terrible. And still, I'm impressed with how quick this thing. I was expecting this vehicle to be slow as dirt and not fun in the least bit, and the opposite is true. I'm very impressed with how this vehicle drives, but I don't have much to say other than let's head into the office and do the buying guide of the Kia Soul. What is going to be the best deal out there for you guys, which trim level, etc. So let's go ahead and head into the office. On to the buying guide of the Kia Soul. Now we're already on to 2024 model year. There are no updates to this model, so just keep that in mind. Prices are going to be a little bit different from 2023 to 2024. I honestly believe that the LX is the best deal, but let's build on the GT line because that is what I had to review today to give you guys an idea of what this thing is going to run. Now, if I get the Surf Blue, it's not going to allow me to get the GT line technology package, which was on the 2023 model in the review. So I'm not going to do that, but I am going to add it and get a different paint color. Let's just go with the Neptune Blue. So you get an idea of what this vehicle roughly costs as a 2024 model. So we're looking at $27,000, and there's a lot of other vehicles I'd be rather buying for $27K compared to this that have a lot more power. So cannot recommend actually this GT line of the Kia Soul. I think, in my honest opinion, that when you're getting a low budget entry level car around $20,000, you get it at the cheapest price point or one of the cheapest price points. And so I like building off the LX, one of the few cars out there in the market starting under $20,000 before destination. And guess what? You get this $500 tech package that gives you blind spot collision avoidance assist or blind spot monitor. It gives you rear cross traffic alert or collision avoidance assistance, you know, all these fancy names, lane change assist, and 16-inch alloy wheels. So you get rid of these dorky steel wheels with wheel covers. This is the model I'd be getting. Get with a little flashy red or orange. Call it a day. If I finish building, this thing comes out around $21,000 or just shy of $22,000 with the blind spot monitor. And that's what I'm seeing out there in my local market. It's just under $22,000 with blind spot monitor. I'd be happy with this guy right here. Get a little color in my life. These upgraded wheels, get the blind spot monitor on this guy. That's a route I would be going with the Kia Soul. You have a tuning knob and a volume knob here. Yes, the screen's small, but you're still going to have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You still have the same screen behind the steering wheel. So, and these seats are light colored. I like this light gray interior here with this orange. I'm happy with this, saving about $5,000. But if you have the extra $5,000, don't spend it on an upper trim Kia Soul, in my opinion. Even though they look cool, Go get like a Corolla Cross Hybrid, a Honda HR-V. They all have better power. They all have all-wheel drive optional. The Kia Seltos just got an update, and that would be a better buy in the mid to upper 20s on top of this too. So don't forget about that guy. Let me know if you have any experiences with the Kia Soul. Do you own a Kia Soul? Do you want a Kia Soul? Which trim level do you want or do you currently own? If you made this far in the video, appreciate you. Hit the like button. Subscribe for more Kia updates. For the Koreans, I'm actually heading out tomorrow to drive the all-new redesigned Hyundai Kona, so that'll be fun. So stay tuned. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great day, and peace.